Oh, wow.
When you got the conscience, it's your time to
Let me
speak.
shut that.
Yeah, right. It's like a talking stick or something.
Yeah.
It gives you, it's the thing that allows you to.
And I don't know why everybody calls their thing a her. I think it has to do with being pretty. This makes pretty music.
Oh.
Pretty cars are pretty to look at, like women. So I'm going to start you off with a couple of John Prine songs. This one I haven't done for anybody except George, my cat. So it's called Yes, I Guess They Oughta Name a Drink After You. So, I get drunk most every night and seems like all we do is fight. The more I drink, the less I feel blue. Sometimes I feel like an awful fool, spending my life on an old bar stool. Yes, I guess they oughta name a drink after you. Here, beer. If this day were to be our last, I'd never set down this glass, take all the booze in the world to forget you. You left my heart a vacant lot, I'm gonna fill it with another shot. Yes, I guess I'll name a drink after you. I'll take a double shot of brandy, maybe some tequila too. Looks like I've had my fill, guess I better pay my bill. When I started out I only meant to have a few, but someone just said that you left town, better get a double round. Yes, I guess they oughta name a drink after you. Yes, I guess they oughta name a drink after you.
Yeah,
Hey.
I love it.
That was good.
Alright, this one's a John Prine. It's called Everybody. Let's see here. While out sailing on the ocean, while out sailing on the sea, I bumped into the Savior and he said, pardon me. I said, Jesus, you look tired. And he said, Jesus, so do you. Won't you sit down, son? Got some fat to chew. He said, everybody needs somebody that they can't talk to. Someone to open up their ears and let that trouble through. You don't have to sympathize or care what they may do, but everybody needs somebody that they can talk to. Well, he spoke to me of morality, starvation, pain and sin. Matter of fact, hold on time, I only got a few words in, but I won't squawk, let them talk. Hell, it's been a long, long time, and any friend that's been turned down is bound to be a friend of mine. Everybody needs somebody that they can talk to, someone to open up their ears and let that trouble through. But you don't have to sympathize or care what they may do, 'cause everybody needs somebody that they can talk to. Well, we sat there for an hour or two just eating that gospel pie, when around a bend came a terrible wind and lightning lit the sky. He said, so long son, I gotta run, I appreciate you listening to me. And I believe I heard him sing these words as he skipped across that sea. Everybody needs somebody that they can talk to, and someone to open up their eyes and let that trouble through. But you don't have to sympathize or care what they may do, 'cause everybody needs somebody that they can talk to. Everybody needs somebody that they can talk to.
I love that. I love it.
Cool. Let's see here. Okay. I don't know who this originally came from, but it's called Cigarettes and Whiskey.
Oh, I love this one.
Once I was happy and I got a good wife, had enough money to last me for life. Then I met with a woman, we went on a spree, and she taught me to drink and smoke whiskey. Cigarettes and whiskey and wild, wild women, they'll drive you crazy, they'll drive you insane. Same cigarettes and whiskey and wild women, they'll drive you crazy, they'll drive you insane. Cigarettes is the blight on the whole human race, and a man is a monkey with a one in his face. So gather round, friends, and listen, dear brothers. There's a fire on the one end and a fool on the t'other. Cigarettes and a whiskey, why women drive you crazy, they'll drive you insane. Oh, cigarettes and a whiskey, why women, they'll drive you crazy, they'll drive you insane. Now listen, dear brothers, now listen, dear friends. These are the words that they'll write at your end. These are the words that they'll write at your grave. For women and whiskey, here lies a poor slave. Cigarettes and whiskey, and wild women, they'll drive you crazy, they're gonna drive you insane. Cigarettes and whiskey, wild women, they'll drive you crazy, they'll drive you insane.
Love it, love it.
Did you sing that one at Liberty, yeah?
Yeah. Let's see, this one I was gonna play on your birthday.
Okay.
I don't know why, I just thought you would really like it, but this Hank Williams Sr. song, I believe. It's called Tramp on the Street. And it's a song about Jesus, but to me it's it's a song about you or me or anybody else that breathes.
Okay.
You know, we all gotta sacrifice for people, and we all have to be sacrificed for. Sometimes we need help, sometimes we gotta help somebody else. Only a tramp was Lazarus that day, he who laid down at the rich man's gate, where he begged for the crumbs from the rich man to eat. But he left him to die like a tramp on the street. He was some mother's darling, he was some mother's son. Once he was fair, once he was young, some mother rocked him, her little darling, to sleep. But they left him to die like a tramp on the street. Jesus, who died on Calvary tree, shed his life's blood for you and for me. They pierced his sides, his hands and his feet, and they left him to die like a tramp on the street. He was Mary's own darling, he was God's chosen son. Once he was fair, and once he was young, Mary, she rocked him, her little darling, to sleep. But they left him to die like a tramp on the street. If Jesus should come and knock on your door for a place to come in, or some bread from your store, would you let him come in? Would you turn him away? Would you leave him to die like a tramp on the street?
Very
Oh,
good.
yeah, that's beautiful.
What's that? Yeah.
That's a Hank Williams?
Man, that sounds
Maybe
like
he didn't
that
write it,
too.
but he covered it.
It's got that Hank Williams feeling,
Yeah.
doesn't it?
All right, let's see here. We're doing the John Prine. This is my Uncle Jamie song. It's called. Let's see here. What was it called? Something Grandpa. Anyways, Grandpa wore his suit to dinner nearly every day. No particular reason, he just dressed that way. Brown necktie with a matching vest and both his wingtip shoes. Well, he built a closet in our back porch, put a penny in a burned out fuse. Well, Grandpa was a carpenter, he built houses, stores and banks, chain smoking old cigarettes, and he hammered hammer, nails, and planks. He would level on the level, he shaved even every door. And he voted for Eisenhower, because Lincoln won the war. Well, he used to sing me blood on the saddle and rock me on his knee. Let me listen to the radio before we got TV. Well, he'd drive to church on Sundays and he'd take me with him too. Stained glass in every window, hearing aids in every pew. Well, Grandpa was a carpenter, he built houses, doors, and banks. Chain smoking old cigarettes, and he hammered nails and planks. He would level on the level, he shaved even every door. And he voted for Eisenhower, because Lincoln won the war. Well, my grandma was a teacher, she went to school in her ball and greens. Traded in her milk and cow for a singer sewing machine. And she called her husband Mister, she walked real tall with pride. She used to buy me comic books after Grandpa died. Well, Grandpa was a carpenter, he built houses, doors, and banks. And he chain smoking old cigarettes, hammer, nails, and planks. So I kind of messed that up. Anyways.
Damn, that was good.
I like that.
Terrific.
See, what's that, number 4 or 5? Let's see.
It doesn't matter.
Well, I'll do one of mine I wrote.
Okay.
This is called Little Baby. First time I met her, she rocked my world. Ah, okay.
All right, man.
First time I met her, she rocked my world. She gave me fits. That girl made my toes curl. Yes, they curl, and they're still curled. And all I had to do was run 8 blocks to meet my baby. When she get off, I'd run, I'd skip, and I would jump. Well, we did everything, we did it together. Don't you think that qualifies to make everything much better? I do. Why don't you? I don't know any better than to love you. You're a crazy woman, yeah. So what? I'm a crazy fool. Yeah, it's true, and I'm still in love with you. Well, I had no idea what life could be till I fell in love with a woman. That sweet as she. Lucky me, wouldn't you agree? Well, I did everything I was born to do. Love that woman like there's no tomorrow. So I'll be going to heaven when I'm through. Don't be blue, I'm always gonna love you.
Man,
Beautiful. You did good now.
that's a good song, Evan.
Thank you, appreciate it. Let's see here. Try to mix it up with some sad and happy. I gotta do Woody Guthrie, so this is the one I'll do. It's called Going Down That Road. I'm going down that road, feeling bad. I'm going down that road, feeling bad. I'm going down that road, feeling bad. Lord, Lord, I ain't gonna be treated this way. Your $5 shoe hurts my feet. Your $5 shoe hurts my feet. Your $5 shoe hurts my feet. Lord, Lord, I ain't gonna be treated this way. It takes a $10 shoe to fit my feet. It takes a $10 shoe to fit my feet. It takes a $10 $1,000 shoe to fit my feet. Lord, Lord, and I ain't gonna be treated this way. They got me way down in jail on my knees. Way down in jail on my knees. Got me way down in jail on my knees. Lord, Lord, and I ain't gonna be treated this way. I'm going where that chilly wind never blows. I'm going where that chilly wind never blows. I'm going where that chilly wind never blows. Lord, Lord, and I ain't gonna be treated this way. And I ain't gonna be treated this way. I ain't gonna be treated this way. I ain't gonna be treated this way. Lord, Lord, and I ain't gonna be treated this way. I'm going where that water tastes like wine. Oh, I'm going where that water tastes like cherry wine. I'm going where that water tastes like cherry wine. Lord, Lord, and I ain't gonna be treated this way. I'm going down that road feeling bad. I'm going down that road feeling bad. I'm going down that road feeling bad. Lord, Lord, and I ain't gonna be treated this way.
Wow.
How about way down yonder in the Indian Nation?
Yeah, you want to hear it? Okay.
Yeah.
Let's see, who wrote this song? Oh, Woody Guthrie, I think. I mean, it might be one of those traditional, but I didn't practice it, but I'll probably remember. Many a months have come and gone since I wandered from my home in the Oklahoma hills where I was born. Many a page life has turned, many a lesson I have learned. I feel like in those hills I still belong. Well, way down yonder in the Indian Nation, ride my pony on the reservation in the Oklahoma hills where I was born. Way down yonder in the Indian Nation, ride my pony on the reservation in the Oklahoma hills where I was born. Now as I sit here today, many a mile I am away from the place I rode my pony to the draw, where the oak and blackjack trees meet that playful prairie breeze in the Oklahoma hills where I was born. Way down yonder in the Indian Nation, ride my pony on the reservation in the Oklahoma hills where I was born. Way down yonder in the Indian Nation, ride my pony on the reservation in the Oklahoma hills where I was born. Now as I turn life a page from that land of the great old sage. I did that one, let's see. On the hills where I was born, where that black Noel rose and flows, where that snow white cotton grows, in the Oklahoma hills where I was born. So, way down yonder in the Indian Nation, ride my pony on the reservation, in the Oklahoma hills where I was born. Way down yonder in the Indian Nation, ride my pony on the reservation in the Oklahoma hills where I was born. Okay, so I got a couple more in mind here.
Okay.
Maybe I'll do my other one I wrote.
Okay.
But first I'm going to do Johnny Cash, The Wall.
Okay.
It's one of my favorite ones to play. So. There's a lot of strange men in cell block 10, but the strangest of them all was a friend of mine who spent his time staring at the wall, staring at the wall. In his hand was a note that his gal had wrote, and it proved that crime don't pay. Was the very same girl he robbed and stole for naming their wedding day, naming their wedding day. And as he looked at the wall, so strong and tall, I could hear him softly curse. Nobody at all ever climbed that wall, but I'm gonna be the first. Yes, I'm gonna be the first. Well, the warden walked by and said, Son, don't try, hate to see you fall. For there ain't no doubt they'll carry you out if you ever touch that wall. If you ever touch that wall. Well, a year went by since he made his try. I can still recall how hard he tried and the way he died. But he never made that wall. No, he never made that wall. There's never been a man never shook this can, but I know a man who tried. The newspapers called it a jailbreak plan. I knew it was suicide. I knew it was suicide.
Wow.
Yeah. And that was Johnny Cash?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
I think him and his son wrote it. Well, him and some other Cash wrote it. Okay, this is my other one. I've been sending it out. I forget some lines, so I don't have a name for it yet. 30 years old, I'm still living at home. And my own sweetheart just hit the road. At least I've got a job and the shoes on my feet, a place to lay my head when I go to sleep. Life is rough, boys, and life is hard. And if you're a human, you're only bound to get scarred. Hide all my feelings, pretend they're not there, until I blow my top and bad vibes in the air. Well, I shouldn't complain, but I do. Like when I'm pissed off or I'm feeling blue. And I don't give a damn what people may say. I'm gonna speak my mind anyway. Something about me you shouldn't ignore. My best friend's a cat. His best friend's a cat. His shit, okay. Something about me you shouldn't ignore. Well, my best friend's a cat, his name is George. And if you should hurt him, I'll make it bleed. He's been my pal since I was 16. Sometimes I wonder if I'll ever learn. Takes mighty hard work to get what you earn. Well, living ain't easy and living ain't free, but this day and age don't seem right to me. Well, deep in the woods is where I long to be, or down in the canyon near the great Grand Coulee. You can cut down my trees, make my river run dry, but you can't kill my spirit, it's hidden inside. But I'm 30 years old, I'm still living at home. And my own sweetheart just hit the road. At least I've got a job and the shoes on. Kitty next to me when I go to sleep.
Yeah, I like that.
Really good.
Thank you.
Maybe one more to just lighten it up here. Erase that tape.
No, don't.
It's on a
Put
chip.
it on YouTube.
Let's see here. Big Rock Candy Mountain.
Good.
On a summer day in the month of May, funny little bum come hiking. He was traveling down the lanes in the sugar canes, looking for his liking. He was headed for a land that's far away, beside the crystal fountain. So come with me, you will see Big Rock Candy Mountain. In rock candy mountain, the land that's fair and bright. Donuts grow on bushes and you sleep out every night. Bulldogs all have rubber teeth and the hens lay soft-boiled eggs. There's a lake of stew and a soda pop too. You can paddle all around in your big canoe in the big rock candy mountain. Oh, the buzzing of the bees in the cigarette trees, soda water fountain, where the lemonade springs and the bluebird sings in the big rock candy mountain. In the big rock candy mountain, you never change your socks. Little streams of orange squash come a-trickling down the rocks. Well, you never have to go to school. All the cops are blind, bound to go where there ain't no snow, where there ain't no rain, the wind don't blow in the big rock candy mountain. Oh, the buzzing of the bees in the cigarette trees, soda water fountain, where the lemonade springs and the bluebird sings in the big rock candy mountain.
Wow. Very good.
I mean, I could go on and on and on, but I guess we should stop this on that. So,
Whatever.
well, I don't know. What do you think?
Keep going if you
Yeah.
want.
You got any more requests? Do you know of any songs I play?
Any John Denver song, do you know?
No.
What have you been listening to?
More
I thought
Johnny
maybe you
Cash?
might have- Or Johnny Cash.
Maybe. I could maybe try one out that I haven't played for anybody but George yet.
Okay.
Let's see. So. The Long Black Veil. That's what this song's called. 10 years ago, on a cold and dark night, someone was killed beneath the town hall light. There were few at the scene, but they all agreed that the slayer who ran looked a lot like me. She walks these hills in a long black veil. She visits my grave when the night winds wail. Nobody knows, nobody sees, well, nobody knows but me. The judge said, son, what is your alibi? If you were somewhere else, then you won't have to die. But I spoke not a word, though it meant my life. I had been in the arms of my best friend's wife. Well, the scaffold is high and the eternity is near. She stood in the crowd and shed not a tear. But sometimes at night, when that cold wind blows a long black veil, she cries over my bones. She walks these hills in a long black veil. She visits my grave when the night winds wail. Nobody knows, nobody sees, nobody knows but me.
Excellent.
Alan, I think you have an excellent voice.
You have a beautiful voice, man. You
Yeah.
hit the notes. You really have a heartfelt sound, too.
Thank you, thank you.
You should go on tour.
Yeah. One more. Okay, another
Okay.
John Prine.
All right.
It's called Illegal Smile. Let's see if I can remember this one here. When I woke up this morning, things were looking bad, and sometimes it seemed like the silence was the only friend I had. Bowl of oatmeal tried to stare me down in one. It was 12 o'clock before I realized I was having no fun. But fortunately I have the key to escape reality, and you may see me today with an illegal smile. It don't cost very much, lasts a long while. Won't you please tell the man I didn't kill anyone, just trying to have me some fun. Well, last time I checked my bankroll, it was getting thin, and sometimes it seemed like the bottom was was the only place I've been. Chased a rainbow down a one-way street, dead end, and all my friends turned out to be insurance salesmen. But fortunately I have a key to escape reality, and you may see me today with an illegal smile that don't cost very much, but it lasts a long while. Won't you please tell the man I didn't kill anyone, I was just trying to have me some fun. But I sat down in my closet with my overalls, trying to get away from all these years inside these walls. Dreamt the police heard everything I thought. What then? Well, I went to court and the judge's name was not men. But fortunately I have a key to escape reality, and you may see me today with an illegal smile. Goddamn, costs very much, lasts a long while. Won't you please tell the man I didn't kill anyone, just trying to have me some fun. Well done, my dog, but brother's a nut.
Excellent. Bravo.
Fabulous.
Thank you guys.
That was
Thank you,
really
Evan.
good.
It was a treat.
That was neat.
It was a treat
Oh,
for
for
us
us.
too.